play that note, because they have to know the Swarasthanam. When you are singing, you may not even, you just go by what you hear. You are not saying I am going from Re to Ma. Sa, Re, Ga. But a violinist has to kind of make that oscillation, make that, the fingering, that movement from Re and Ma. Sa, Sa, Ni, Ra, Va, Ni, Re, Va, Ma, Ga, Re, Ma, Ma, Re. That's how when I tell Vikram, who is a violinist, I tell him, just think you are playing that. Arabi. Sa, Ni, Ra, Ba, Ma, Ga, Re, Sa, Sa, Da, Da, Ba, Ma, Ga, Re, Sa, Sa, Da, Da, Ba. When you play Janta Swara, and when you sing it, Sa, Sa, without singing it plain, like you play it on the piano, you play the same note twice. If you sing it with the gamakam, Sa, Sa, Da, Da, Ba, Ma, Ga, Re, Sa, Sa, sometimes the second, many times the second occurrence of the same swaram, it shows a little bit of the earlier swaram. Sa, 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 Re, Ra, Ba, Ma, Ga, Re, Sa, Sa, Da, Ba, Ma, Ga, Re, Ni, Ra, Va, Ni, Re, Va, Ma, Ga, Re, Ma, Re, Ma, Ma, Re. So, these, the instruments kind of graphically illustrate the gamakams. So, I was making a point about how some gamakams are kind of standard across the board. Re, Da. Another aspect to keep in mind is there is symmetry between in the Purvangams, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Za, and you will find many ragas exploit that symmetry. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Za, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Za, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni, Za. So that's another thing to look for. And people, especially when they sing Kalpana Swaram and come up with a korbai. One korbai I really liked in a recording that Lal Gudi Jayaraman, Ramani and Venkatraman, Veena Menu violin. Garisa, Nidapa, Garisa, Rinisa, Nidamapa, Magarisa, Magari, Sa, Nida, Magari, Rimagari, Dazani, Nidada, Rimagari, Da, Niga, Rigani, Da, Niga, Rigani, Da, Niga, Padani, Zariga, Maga, Riga, Padani, Sani, Padani, Zariga, Paluku, Paluku. So, again, this is not about to illustrate the rhythmic beauty of that korbai, which is there, but the symmetry. Many ragas have that, even Nayaki, which is very Gamaka Pradhana raga. Sa, Riga, Ri, Dani, Da, Pada. So when you look for such symmetry, it's like when you understand one Gamakam, you are understanding other similar Gamakams. That way, the idea is, I don't want to oversimplify. Some ragas it takes several years to really get the full understanding of the raga. You have to learn a lot of composition before you can sing alapana. Do justice to that. In order to sing proper Bhairavi, you have to learn several compositions. And even so I don't want to anyway minimize the effort. But there are things that you can look for patterns, you can look for similarities. So when I sang the ragas, where I kept going from one raga to another, I was exploiting Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Re, Ga. See, the same Gandharam, because the Madhyamam is, when Ma moves closer to Pa, okay, the Ga sounds different. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Re, Ga, Ma. So I use that in the four ragas, Shanmukha Priya, Simedra Madhyamam, Dharmavati and Hemavati. The lower tetrachord was pretty much the same. And that comes to another topic which I need to really use the topic to conclude, because this is basically a launching pad for hopefully many future lectums from delivered by able folks. And again, as students, you may want to, you one or two things that I said today may kindle your curiosity, and you have to kind of, when you listen to music, when you practice what you have learned, you can keep this in mind. Or and say, wait a second, he talked about only 4 types of gamakams: jaru, kampitam, spuritam, and nokku. What about the other types? I want to go learn them, so I can do that. So this is not, in this short presentation, the idea was not to kind of cover everything comprehensively. But the reason I sang those 4 ragas and with changing one note at a time was, when we talk about, if you listen to any of the legdams about gamakams or raga lakshana, typically you will find one set of ragas. We will always talk about Todi, Bhairavi, Shankarabharanam, Kambodi, Kalyani, and then you have Kedara Gowda Suruti, Nayaki Darbar. I am giving these pairs of ragas because that's another thing. In Carnatic music, Rasikas are always fascinated by 2 ragas that are similar, and what is the difference? Difference between Suruti and Kedara Gowda. Magare, Sari Ma Pani Sa, Nirava Magare, Nema Pani Sa. It's very hard for me to immediately switch. Na 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 Nidava Magare. See that again, symmetry. Nida pa. Where does pa start? It starts in da, goes to ni, and comes back to pa. Nida ba magare. It starts in ga, re starts in ga, goes to ma, and comes down to re. So that ga and da are very different. Nida ba da ba magare maga. But in Suruti, Nida ba magare. So Kedara Gowda Suruti, then Madhimavati Brindavana Saranga. That's different. That's more of a style issue. And Nayaki Darbar, Devagandhari Arabi. These are all pairs of ragas that are taken as illustrations. Now we have about maybe 50 to 100 ragas, which are the classical Carnatic ragas. Shankarabharanam, Todi, Kalyani, Bhairavi, and then Kambodi, and then of course Yadukula Kambodi, Varadi, Saveri, and Madhimavati, Mohanam. You have a whole set of ragas. These are all ragas where the very special gamakas, how the notes have to be sung, the special gamaka prayogas, all those have been set. I would like to say, this is again, it's my own take. This is not, I have to qualify what I am saying, as it's not, there's no official sanction from this. Typically the ragas that have compositions in Trinity and pre-Trinity days, which have been handed down, which have had a history where the raga is defined in terms of its phrases. Atana, or Neelambari, Begada. These are all the quintessence of Carnatic music. And if you look at the Arohanam, Avarohanam, you are not going to get any help. Because how the Swaras are sung is very, very important. They are part and parcel of the raga's personality. And then you have a whole bunch of other ragas. They are also important. They also have, at the end of the day, raga, what does it mean? It means something that is pleasing to the ear. Right? So there are a whole bunch of ragas where if you just know the Arohanam, Avarohanam, you can do some justice. And it's an interesting question. Why is it that way? Is that because there is no history? We don't have history bearing down on us. So when you want to sing Simedra Madhimam, Dikshidhar has composed in it. Sumadhyuti, okay, Kamakshi, Kamakoti, Pitavasini. But he has composed a couple of compositions in that. But If you know sa re ga ma pa da ni sa, what is a nyasa swaram? What is a graha swaram? What is a amsa swaram? You have pretty much arohanam avarohanam. Okay, so with that in mind, if you are, you can sing it with a lot of bhakti. It doesn't mean that because you have only arohana avarohanam, there is no gamakam. There is a lot of gamakams, but these gamakas are the ones which are, I feel that these gamakas have an independent standing on their own, without the ragam context. Re, of course, that is plain. Ga ma avadani. Then same case with Dharmavati. Re ga ma avadani sa sa ni da ma ga re. In some of the classical ragas, many times they say, oh, and the gava vandu koncham antara gandharatha koncham innum jaasti pidikkanum illa adoda innum koncham korachala pidikkanum. Deva Gandhari ga. Okay, that is another thing. You have this 22 Shrutis where we talked about the 12 Swarasthanas, right? Rigamadani, we take each 2 flavors of Ri, 2 flavors of Ga, that makes it 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. Guess what? You take each of those and then further take 2 more flavors. Sa, Ri. Even that Ri, there are 2, Ekashruti and Dvishruti. And this is another part where they only give examples. Oh, Ekashruti is Gauda, this Shruti is in Mayamana Gauda, or in Ragas where there is no Gandhara, and things like that. They don't have a clear cut, but the 22 Shruti concept is very popular. You will find a lot of papers on it and all that. It has been there forever. So, when they say Deva Gandhari, that Gandharam is a little bit higher. It is a Tivra, what is the, do you know the term? Antara Gandharathukum mela onnu irukku. Antara Gandharam, there are two Antara Gandharams, right? Because every note, as we know, Suddha Rishabham, Chatusruti Rishabham, Sadharana Gandharam, Antara Gandharam, Suddha Madhyamam, Prati Madhyamam, Suddha Daivatam, Chatusruti Daivatam, Kaisik Nishadam, Kakali Nishadam. The 10 notes, each of them have two types. So 10 times 2 is 20, Sa and Pa 22. There is a 22 Shruti. Ekashruti. That's why you have the Shat Shruti Rishabham. Sa Re. That is the 6th Shruti. Sa Re. Why do we get Chatusruti Rishabham? It is only the 3rd note. Sa Re Re. But why is it called Chatusruti? Because there is a Ekashruti Rishabham. Sa Re. Dvishruti Rishabham. Sa Re. Tishruti Rishabham. Sa Re. Chatusruti Rishabham. Sa Re. I mean, I'm using Gamakam as a way to distinguish. I'm not sure that is necessarily, but this is typically these are the examples that we hear. So many of what I say, I mean, hopefully it won't be, I'm just expressing that I've not found a very comfortable, convincing explanation for these things. So I'm just giving my own take. So there are a whole bunch of ragas where with just the arohanam, avarohanam, you can do a lot of justice. And many nowadays, I mean, especially the 20th, I would like to call them 20th century ragas. Okay, and we have all these exotic ragas, the 4-note Maghati raga. Jaru is what you need. Sa ga pa ni sa ga pa ni sa. There's no what. There's no sa ni. No, it won't look nice. Sa ga pa ni sa. So many ragas can be just sung without a whole lot of additional rules, with just the arohana. And that's why if you find many of the musicologists, people are more fascinated by the classic ragas. Vegada, Bhairavi, they still continue to intrigue Vidwans. Thodi continues to intrigue Vidwans and students. So, one thing I would like to suggest to the students is, if you focus on those ragas, I think the other ragas you can just master them easily. So, so as you go forward, learn more and more compositions in the classic ragas, because you need to learn a lot of compositions to fully understand the ragas. And once you do that, others will be very easy. You know, and that's. I had a few more points to say, but I think I'll wrap it up here. And again, I apologize that it's not been very structured. I just wanted to touch upon a few things, and I'm hoping that we will pick these threads and maybe have, if not like a legdom, at least a discussion around these threads.